Prince Harry's appearance on Bill Maher's show began with an air of curiosity and tension. The audience was eager to hear from the Duke of Sussex, while Maher's sharp, unfiltered tone hinted that this wouldn't be a typical celebrity interview. At first, things seemed civil. Harry discussed mental health, the impact of the media on his life, and his family's move to the United States. Maher nodded along politely, but it didn't take long before he started poking at deeper issues. He asked Harry if he felt he was still trying to stay relevant through media appearances, which caused the first sign of discomfort in Harry's expression. As the conversation shifted, Maher brought up Harry's book Spare. "You claim to be?" Stepping back from the spotlight, Maher quipped, "But your book tour says otherwise." Harry replied calmly, "Telling my story isn't the same as chasing fame. It's about being honest." Maher raised an eyebrow. "But honesty with a multi-million-dollar advance, right?" That line drew laughter from the audience, but Harry didn't seem amused. His voice tightened. "Everyone has a right to speak their truth, no matter how much it earns." Maher smirked, but didn't press further for the moment. The tension thickened when Maher questioned Harry's stance on privacy. "You and Meghan said you wanted privacy, yet here you are everywhere." Harry's smile faded. "There's a difference between private life and public service. We still care about causes." Maher leaned forward. "But isn't monetizing your story the opposite of that?" Harry responded. "We're using our experiences to help others feel seen." Maher shrugged and said, "Some people just see two celebrities who bailed on duty and turned it into a business." The audience stirred, sensing the heat rising. Maher took the gloves off when he questioned Harry's role in the royal family. "Do you think you've done more good inside or outside the monarchy?" Harry paused, then said, "I tried to help. Within, but the institution didn't allow growth," Maher countered. "Or maybe you just didn't like the rules." Harry, clearly annoyed, responded, "I didn't like being silenced when people around me were suffering." Maher fired back, "Well, now you're loud and everyone's listening. Happy now?" Harry narrowed his eyes and answered quietly, "It's not about being heard. It's about being human." The conversation took a more personal turn when Maher brought Meghan into the mix. "There's a lot of talk about how much influence Meghan has over your choices." Harry's jaw tightened. "That's insulting. She's my wife, not my handler." Maher grinned. "So she doesn't tell you what interviews to do?" Harry shook his head. "We decide things together, like partners do." Maher chuckled. "You've changed a lot since marrying her," Harry replied firmly. "I've grown, not changed." "There's a difference." The audience clapped, but the air was growing colder between host and guest, trying to lighten the mood.
"Oh."
Maher joked about Harry's time in California. "How's life in Montecito? Ever miss the palace?" Harry smiled briefly. "I miss the people, not the institution." Maher responded, "So no regrets walking away from royal life?" Harry answered, "None. We chose peace." Maher tilted his head. "But your critics say you walked into chaos and called it peace." Harry looked directly at him. "Those critics haven't lived my life. They don't get to judge it." That answer drew murmurs of agreement and skepticism. Alike from the studio, the argument escalated when Maher accused Harry of hypocrisy. "You talk about toxic media, yet you appear on every major platform," Harry said, "because this is how we correct the false narratives." Maher scoffed, "Or rewrite them to fit your version." Harry's patience was thinning. "We're not hiding anymore. We're sharing what was hidden." Maher shook his head and cashing in while doing it. The room fell silent. Harry responded sharply, "It's not about money. It's about breaking cycles." Maher replied, "Cycles of what?" "Royal drama." That comment landed heavily. Harry leaned forward, clearly agitated. "This isn't drama to us. It's our life," Maher replied coolly. "And a lot of people think you're turning life into a product," Harry retorted. "Those people haven't." "Face the trauma we have," Maher replied. "Everyone's got trauma. Not everyone gets a Netflix deal." The crowd murmured, some agreeing, some not. Harry looked visibly offended but tried to regain composure.
We didn't ask for fame.
"We were born into it." Maher smiled. "And now you're using it? Which is it, victim or mogul?" Harry's. lips pressed together in silence. At that point, the interview felt more like a courtroom cross-examination. Maher continued pressing. "You've made a career out of what you left behind. Isn't that ironic?" Harry responded, "What I left behind still affects me. That's why I speak." Maher asked, "Do you think your family watches all this and agrees?" Harry answered, "Probably not. But I didn't do this for their approval." Maher nodded. "And yet their silence keeps your headlines going." Harry paused. "I won't apologize for surviving." Maher chuckled. "Surviving with a brand deal, right?" The final blow came when Maher suggested Harry was exploiting royal trauma. "You're not just telling your story, you're marketing it." Harry stood up. "This interview's done," he said sharply. Maher shrugged. "If you can't take the heat, maybe don't sit in the spotlight." Harry turned to the audience, nodded, and walked off. The producers were stunned, unsure if it was real or staged. Maher simply smiled at the camera and said, "Well, there goes the Duke. Guess we touched a nerve." The audience erupted into a mixture of applause and awkward silence. Backstage, the tension remained high. Sources close to the production said Harry was furious, calling the interview a trap. He felt disrespected and misrepresented, especially given that he believed the discussion would focus on his charitable work and mental health advocacy. Instead, it had become a confrontation. Meghan, who was not present, reportedly supported Harry's walk-off and vowed they wouldn't participate in similar formats again. Public reactions were swift, the social media users fiercely debating whether Harry was justified or overly sensitive. As clips of the interviews circulated online, headlines screamed about the dramatic exit. Fans defended Harry, saying Maher's treatment was aggressive and borderline mocking. Critics accused Harry of being too thin-skinned and unwilling to face difficult questions. Bill Maher, meanwhile, doubled down, claiming he simply asked what the public wanted to know. The fallout became a cultural moment, fueling debates about celebrity, trauma, and the fine line between storytelling and self-promotion. For Harry, it was a stark reminder that walking away from the crown didn't mean walking away from criticism. The palace declined to comment, but royal experts chimed in, some noting that Harry's outburst might damage his already tense relationship with the monarchy. Others believed the public had grown weary of the Sussexes' media presence. They said they wanted privacy, one commentator noted, but continued to engage in publicity on their own terms. Supporters pushed back, arguing that using fame to highlight real issues was not contradictory, regardless of opinion. One thing was certain. The Maher interview added another complicated chapter to Harry's post-royal life in the days following. Harry addressed the incident through a brief statement. He emphasized the importance of respectful dialogue and said the interview was a learning moment. "I will always stand up for my truth," he wrote, "but I won't allow it to be reduced to a punchline." Meghan also posted a subtle message. On her foundation's page about dignity and storytelling, their followers rallied in support, while others rolled their eyes. The divide between those who see them as advocates and those who see them as opportunists grew deeper. In the end, Prince Harry's clash with Bill Maher revealed more than just a media spat, exposed the ongoing tension between personal healing and public scrutiny. For some, Harry's walk-off was justified, a stand against insensitive probing. For others, it was proof that he still struggles with accountability. Either way, the moment cemented itself in talk show history. And as Harry continues to navigate life outside the monarchy, the world continues to watch, critique, and question every step. Whether he's prepared for that or not remains to be seen. Following the incident on Bill Maher's show, the media storm didn't die down, it only grew louder. Royal commentators across networks offered their interpretations, some calling Prince Harry's exit a calculated move, while others described it as a loss of temper under pressure. Viewers around the world debated whether Maher had crossed a line or whether Harry simply couldn't handle tough questions. Online polls were split. Some said it was brave of Harry to walk off instead of engaging in a toxic exchange. Others insisted that if he wanted to be taken seriously, he should have stood his ground and answered like any other public figure in the days that followed. Meghan Markle posted a cryptic message on her social media, stating, "There's strength in silence, not in mockery." Though no names were mentioned, The message was widely interpreted as a response to Bill Maher's tone and line of questioning. Supporters applauded her grace, reposting the quote thousands of times. Critics, however, argued that the couple was once again dodging accountability by playing the victim card. News segments began analyzing even this subtle post, turning every word into a headline.